In the quiet village of Adrilla lived a very rude and proud princess named Amara. She was like a thorny rose, beautiful but painful to be around. Her parents, the king and queen, spoiled her rotten, giving her everything she wanted. Because of her nasty attitude, nobody liked her, and everyone avoided her. As her 20th birthday approached, the palace was buzzing with preparations. But Amara wasn't happy. She claimed that one of her maids, a kind girl named Daria, had disobeyed her and wanted to punish her. The king, furious that someone had dared to disobey his precious daughter, gave Amara a dangerous task to give to Daria. He ordered Daria to go into the terrifying forest of abominables and steal a magical peacock egg from a wicked sorcerer. Desperate, Daria went to her wise grandmother for help. Her grandmother told her, prepare a pot of pottage, as the sorcerer loved it. Daria quickly made the pottage and set off on her scary journey. As she stepped into the dark forest, Daria felt like she was walking into a giant's mouth. When night fell, she built a small fire to keep herself warm. Suddenly, she heard a cry for help. Following the cries, she found a huge eagle trapped in a net. The eagle, speaking in a human voice, begged Daria to free him. Daria cut the net with her knife, and the eagle thanked her by giving her 3 magic stones, promising to help her whenever she was in trouble. Along the way, Daria faced many dangers. A snake almost bit her, but she remembered the magic stones and dropped one. The snake disappeared instantly. Later, she reached the boundary between the spirit world. She gave them one of the stones. The spirits were pleased and let her pass. Finally, Daria arrived at the sorcerer's house. The sorcerer, as cold as a winter's night, was intrigued by the pottage and agreed to grant Daria a wish in exchange for it. Daria asked for the peacock egg, and the sorcerer handed it over with a sly smile, warning that the egg would reveal the true nature of anyone who drank from it. Daria returned to the palace, tired but successful. She tried to warn Amara about the egg's magic, but the princess, blinded by her vanity, ignored her. Amara drank the egg's contents without hesitation. Instantly, a dark cloud enveloped her, and both Amara and Daria collapsed, unconscious. The next morning, on Princess Amara's birthday, Daria woke up in the princess's opulent bedroom, confused by the luxurious surroundings. Meanwhile, Amara found herself in the humble quarters of a maid, bewildered and terrified. Both girls were baffled by the switch, unsure of how it had happened. Amara in Daria's body ran to the palace and lied, claiming that Daria, who now appeared as Amara, had used magic from the egg to switch their bodies. Despite her confusion, Daria attended the grand birthday celebration prepared for the princess. The entire village came to celebrate, and the festivities were joyful and loud, with plenty of food and merriment. Meanwhile, the real Amara, trapped in the dungeon with nothing to eat, could only cry. As Amara sobbed and banged on the dungeon door, a young man slipped a plate of food through the bars. He promised to find a way to get her out, saying that their grandmother would sell her chickens to pay a ransom to the king. Amara showed him a scar on her tummy, a mark she had gotten as a child when she fell in the palace. She argued that Daria could not possibly have the same scar. The young man, now doubtful, promised to speak with their grandmother to see if they could reverse the curse. Back in the palace, Daria, still in Amara's body, pleaded with the king to forgive the maid, the real Amara. But the king, unmoved, declared that only a virginity test could prove the maid's innocence. Daria reluctantly agreed to the test. That night, the queen, knowing the truth about her daughter's past, begged the king to reconsider. But the king, cold and unforgiving, refused to listen. The next day, as the village gathered for the celebration, the king prepared to carry out his test. Daria waited anxiously, her heart pounding as the moment approached. The queen's pleas fell on deaf ears, and the atmosphere grew tense. What will become of Daria and Amara? Stay tuned for the next chapter of The Switch.